Right, just doing a brief video about current events and the politics around them. But the Brexit vote postponed again, but what I've noticed is that about 10 people put about 20 posts about the incompetence of government. They're sort of like these pictures with the back seats empty or full of people asleep, or with statements like, never have so many people been fucked over by so many people, by so few people for so long, and why is there such an incompetent government, why don't they get the finger out, but these sort of statements repeated. I've heard, seen sort of 2 or 3 people putting the same picture up, and I'm not a big fan of it because it's like a repetition thing, like repetition culture. It's like you're not offering your own. But at the same time, I would argue that it is the bare minimum way of showing a bare minimum of frustration is just to repeat a slogan which expresses something near to how they're feeling about the current situation. The supposed referendum or whatever was supposed to take place on the 31st, but it's been postponed for whatever reasons. I'm sure there's plenty of propaganda that'll go with that. And I said this last time, I think it was postponed in August or something, not June, I think. And the last time it was postponed, I says, well, what changes? And I just thought about this for a few minutes and thought, yeah, nothing changes. The only thing that remains is, or is sustained for the few months after that, is that those MPs, members of Parliament, members of the Euro Parliament, people within the system, to whatever higher or lower level, criminal elements, etc., they all sustain a wage as they're being paid, and things remain in limbo because that's how things are, or that's how the state of the country is perceived to be. There is an element of fear from a lot of people because they don't know how things are going to proceed. People don't know. Things are in limbo. And these people in these positions can maintain their lewd lifestyle, doing whatever they do. So to them, it's not a bad thing, is it? Because that's how things were before. They wouldn't want a revolution or anything like that. With regards to fear, there's the threats of war, sort of from various countries and things like that. And you're sort of like, well, I don't know if these situations, these threats are genuine, sort of, or if they're instigated by politicians to sort of say, well, you say that and we can sustain this way of being. One thing I do know is that I've seen the pictures of Aleppo and some of the shit that went on in Iraq. Syria, I feel for people who on the ground who live there. I saw a lady today with the full Muslim regalia, the hijab and what have you. Respect. I'm not. There's no. You know, she's making her point known. She's walking down the street. No doubt she'll get endless abuse from people who don't take this time to understand the very basics of life, let's say. And, you know, she's doing it to make a point, I believe, you know. So fair play. I've observed sort of minorities, the LGBTs, I hang about with them and get accused of being different sexual orientation. I couldn't give a fucking shit, you know. I mean, you say what you like. Muslims get accused of being one of those. I couldn't care less what you think. I don't have to justify myself. There was a lady from Myanmar last week, just made the comment, be a good person, but don't waste your time proving yourself. And I just thought, you know, throughout my life, people have pushed me to say, well, you need to justify why you're behaving like that and stuff. But this lady from Myanmar, you know, she made a point, you know, don't waste your time. And I think it's damn right, because especially at this time, our country is attacked on all levels. I mean, has been, but it's very crude. Festival a month ago, somebody attended, I know of, and 2 young girls died. Drugs overdose. Only young, first time they've attended one of these things. Dealers from Liverpool involved, and it's like it's very hush hush. It's very, you know, there was no sort of. I mean, the media's crap, but there was no sort of. But you can guarantee some crude person will be talking about it in a pub, trying to look very devious, as though it's something that he has an insight on. But it's 2 teenage lads who saw it, you know, and there was a crowd, you know, and the paramedics saw it more than, you know, they have more sort of information about it. So, but because of the limited communication, perverse media, you know, this is when criminal elements can come out and steer I suppose steer people, because they will find themselves in an influential position because they are able to persuade people, whether it be through illicit means or just the fact that they are deceitful. That's the nature. But you know, these people take hold and so yeah, I think that the reports, though, you know, 10 people, it's like the frustration at the postponement today. Reminding me that we're in a precarious situation, and I thought the bare minimum I can do is just do short video. on what I have observed, and I'm seeing unfold. Spoke to a young person the other day. Excuse me, Mr. Greenbank. I know him in real life. Young lad, I'm just like, my instant response is, who are you? Why are you coming out with that? But it's like, it's a young lad. He wants to be heard. He respects me. He's calling me my full name. I've been represented in a good light, and this person wants me to know that he knows a relative of mine. So I just thought, respect. You get my backing. You're innocent. You've done now wrong. Plenty of people that are question. But young lad, he's done nothing wrong. He's innocent. So, and it's their future we're talking about, and all these sort of criminal elements sort of meandering around, fucking everything up. You just think, they deserve better. I deserve better, but they definitely deserve better because they ain't done shit wrong. I mean, I'm not sort of certainly not as dodgy as a lot of the people's all the stupid things they get involved in, but it's just like, yeah, kids are innocent, and it's inspiring. Young person coming out with that level of respect like that, and it's like the people around sort of your age, and they don't give a fuck about anything. They don't, a lot of them don't see things with any sort of caring, if you like. So maybe that was a prompt, just like, look, spoke to the police today about communication moving forward in a positive light. So that's another step forward. Is little steps. So if we just keep applying them, I think seeing how things progress. A bit to reflect on, probably be a part 2 to this one. Love and blessings.